everybody. It's Edie in quarantine in Las Vegas at my home in my backyard with the fabulous Todd Dubail.
Hey, everybody.
Yay.
Hi, Edie.
How you doing?
I'm good.
I know.
It's a question mark.
It is a question mark.
Because you know what? Each day is different.
It's different. We don't know what's going on. And but at least we have time for each other.
We do, and drinks.
Cheers.
Which make everything better, right?
I love it.
Cheers.
Now Todd is an amazing musical theater boy who lives approximately 700 feet from my house.
700 feet?
Yes.
700. Who told you that?
It was your husband.
Oh.
I was going to say a block away, but he said we're approximately 700 feet from each other.
Believe it.
Really?
He's bad.
Well, when you walk home, you're going to have to do the walk thing and
We will do that.
and see.
We will do that.
And then text me and let me know exactly.
I will.
Yeah.
You know what the thing, as we were walking over here today, normally you in front of your house, I think around this time of year, have a duck crossing sign.
Yeah.
That's not here this year.
No,
Where'd the ducks go?
The ducks come. They come back every year.
Yeah.
Because they actually will land in the pool. They will try to have babies, but we have dogs, and I don't want the babies in the backyard. But last year they tricked me, and they had their babies behind that waterfall, and so then I was on this mission to make sure that the ducklings lived, because when they're outside of the house, the ducklings. You'll see 12 one day, and then you'll see like 8, and then you'll see 6, and you're like, what is happening to the ducklings? And I heard that they're drowned by the male ducklings, and also coyotes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I became like super mom, and I was not gonna let those ducklings die, and all 12 of them lived.
Awesome.
I mean, they grew up to be big. And
Mallards in your backyard.
Yep, I put a fence over there and fed them, and they kept coming over and swimming in the pool, which is not good because the chlorine's bad.
Right.
But
because we had a couple that landed in our backyard this year.
Yeah.
I want to say almost a month ago.
Yeah.
And
they try, don't they?
Right. And I went out and I made all sorts of noise and was
Yeah.
a total idiot in the backyard, because that's what they say is that the pool, the chlorine is not good for them.
Yeah.
Not to mention the caca that's all over the backyard.
Oh, it's all over. There's so much poop.
Really bad.
Yeah, like your pool looks spotted with like polka dots, and it's like,
and
no.
our pool was just redone a
1.5
years ago, 2 years, and I was like, nope.
Yeah, that's why I support them in front of the house. And I put signs out on the street,
It's so
duck
cute.
crossing, but I have not seen any ducks out there, so I haven't put the signs out.
Because I mean, a lot of times we come in the neighborhood and we pause because there they go waddling across the street.
It works.
It does work.
Put a sign out front of your house. Even if you don't have ducks, just duck crossing, that people slow down and go, where?
Right.
Where's the duck?
I want to see it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, Todd is a musical theater boy, and normally you spend your summers, you would be on your way to Tuacahn.
Yeah, and I was supposed to be this year. We
have they canceled the whole season?
Oh my gosh.
Or it's just up in the air?
Well, like everything else.
Up in the air.
Up in the air.
Yeah.
We've had so many conversations with them. They just announced though, so I feel like I can say something that tentatively, or hopefully we'll start July 11th, I think, is going to be the first performance date.
Nice. And what show is that?
Beauty and the
If it
Beast.
happens. Beauty and the Beast. Nice.
Yes.
Are you? You are. Nice.
Gaston.
Gaston, of course.
And then
I would have said Belle, but Gaston.
Oh, sweet. The other show, there were supposed to be 3, but now it's going to be 2 because there's not time. The other show is a new show by Frank Wildhorn that I think has maybe only been done in Salt Lake, called The Count of Monte Cristo, based on the novel.
Okay.
So that'll start a week later. And then the third show that was supposed to be there was Annie this summer, and they have now moved that to be their holiday show, which is going to start sometime in October and run through like January 6th.
Yeah.
And I'll be playing Rooster.
What a fun role.
I know.
Have you played the role before?
No, neither of these roles have I played, so I'm really excited.
I see you as being cast as Gaston, because you're very tall and statuesque and handsome and a leading man type and all that stuff.
Thanks.
And comedy, great comedy. Rooster, that's exciting.
It is exciting because he's such a slime ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it'll be fun.
So what are you gonna do for
stretch
research?
the wings.
Yeah, what are you gonna do for research?
Oh, I'll probably steal a bunch of shit from people, videos and movies. But
I thought you were gonna steal from my backyard. I'm like,
you got roosters back here?
No.
Chickens?
Ducks.
Oh, ducks.
No.
I'm gonna let that pass.
I just meant like stealing objects and stuff. just to get into that naughty raw.
Oh,
theft
well, you know,
character.
all of the casinos are all boarded up, so I can't steal nothing from them.
I know.
You know, I don't know.
It's
we'll
weird.
see.
Yeah,
Maybe
we'll see.
I'll. Are there any empty houses here in the neighborhood? Maybe we can break into the house.
No.
Criminals.
No, we can't start any kind of trend like that here in the neighborhood.
No, that's true. We
No,
don't want that.
I'll just give you something and
No.
make you feel like you stole it. Now, where are you
I
born
can
and
steal
raised?
this rock.
Yeah, it's a whole story. I'll tell you one day what that is. But it's anyway.
But it matches your dress beautifully.
It's why I wore the dress.
Is
why
it?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Because I interviewed your husband before this, the
Yeah.
fabulous Josh Strickland, and yeah. And then, did we talk about it
No.
during?
No.
No, after, in
After.
between. I don't remember. So where are you born and raised?
Peoria, Illinois.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Midwest. We in this quarantine moment are watching all sorts of TV.
It's a hot spot right now.
Peoria,
No, Illinois.
TV, Illinois,
Illinois.
with Michigan, with all the protesters
Yeah.
and stuff.
No, it's still red, and California's red, New York's red, and Illinois is red, and it's just a lot of icky
Yeah,
stuff.
but a show that we're watching called Mrs. America. I don't.
Yeah.
Have you
Yeah.
watched it all?
No,
It's brilliant. I mean, I'm a
Cover.
little too young to know about the ERA movement,
me too.
but it's all about the Equal Rights Amendment. And one of the founders of the ERA, Betty Friedan, who
Mhm.
wrote the Feminine Mystique book
Mhm.
in early 70s, is from Peoria, Illinois. And I
Oh,
just
yeah.
learned that watching the show.
Oh,
But, you know, it was fun. I grew up in the middle of I went to high school in the middle of a cornfield,
yeah.
grew up with like
Wow.
woods all over and snow and freezing temperatures.
At
I
what
hate it.
moment did you know you wanted to be a performer? What was that moment of like?
I had a neighbor across the street, Mrs. Yoakum, and her daughter Linda, she wanted to take to a community children's theater audition, and she didn't want to go by herself, and so she asked if I wanted to go, and this was in first grade, and
Oh, yeah.
I went to the audition for I think it was a children's production of Hansel and Gretel, and I was cast and Linda was not.
Oh, gosh.
And so
Did she hate you?
No, we were best of friends until like
Right.
she moved away in like 6 or 7.
So you were Gretel?
No, I was an elf. No,
You were an elf.
I was an elf.
Yeah.
My mom made my costumes, and I did community theater, played, you know, Sound of Music and Music Man and all of those things, and did all this stuff in Peoria until I moved away.
And your parents were good with that.
Yeah, you know, they were. They left me at the theater a couple times, like after the shows. Nobody had cell phones, and I'd be,
Yeah.
the stage manager, whoever. Did we have a stage manager in community theater? I don't know.
Yeah, you did.
Whoever was in charge
Yeah.
was like, do you have somebody to come pick you up? I'm like, oh yeah, my parents are going to come. Don't worry about it. You know, but I'd have to call them on the payphone and say, did you forget?
Was it a dime or a quarter?
Gosh, a dime maybe. I would call them collect. I didn't have money. I was like 10.
Oh, that was snarky. I was just being snarky. What are you
No.
drinking? 'Cause I'm drinking an Edie Teeny, but the summertime raspberry version. What are you drinking?
This is a raspberry rosé something or other.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's good.
it's like wine.
I'm a little paler than you are, but it
Is
is
it wine?
Yeah,
Wine
I guess.
seltzer thing?
Malt beverage.
Malt extravaganza.
Something like that.
It looks good.
Yeah,
Mine has fruit in it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mine
So
does not.
how many siblings do you have?
3
3.
older twin sisters and a younger brother.
Oh,
So I'm Jan and Peter.
you are
I am
in one.
in one.
That's hilarious.
What?
You are. You are
I
the
wear
male.
glasses too
You
normally.
are the male-female middle child.
Middle child syndrome. All I had to do what I needed to do to get noticed.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then I moved to San Diego. I lived in San Diego for a bunch of years, and then I moved to New York and lived there for 16
Wow.
before I moved here to be with my husband.
Yeah.
And,
So what did you do in New York?
Oh,
Not everything, just 2 highlights.
you know what? I did a Legends in concert with Charles Bush and I'm sorry that I'm not going to remember his name, but Lipsinka.
Yeah, yeah.
I forget his name, but anyway, I did
John
it with
Everson.
with both of them. That was so much fun.
Wait, when was that?
2000.
Okay, so
Probably. Well, it was a few years after I saw you there
Yeah.
for the first time
Yeah.
at the Zipper Theater,
at the Zipper, yeah.
and then I saw you again at Velada.
Velada. Yeah, I did a weekly show at Velada Bar.
Huge fan.
That was fun. Stop it.
I was.
You know what was so
You were
fun?
so fascinated with the long legs and just all of the stuff and the wiggles and the giggles and.
You know how
awesome.
that came about? it came about not only my love of the 60s and my love because I was in the ballet for so long and everything was so structured and so like and then when I could break out and do my own little show, I was just all wiggling, just so excited to just break all those rules. But also I would perform at Barracuda, Vlada, East of 8, a few of those places in New York City, and the stage was like 3 feet by 6 feet or something very small.
Yeah.
So I had to learn how to make really big, really big
but tiny
gestures
steps.
without going very
Yeah.
far. And so that's what I tried to master. And they'd be like,
Same.
"Wow, Edie, you were," I was like flailing.
No.
I was literally flailing.
No,
But
you
it was fun.
It was very fun. I
Really
had a
fun.
blast.
Yeah, I had a blast.
I loved
too.
seeing those shows.
I worked with Charles Bush once, and I was asked to teach him a tap dance. He was doing a show, and he needed a little tap. And so I worked on it. I was like, "Let's do this, how advanced is he?" and all this stuff. And then when I got there, everything I worked on went out the window. Charles was like, "I would like to do this." And I'm like, "Okay." And he goes, "And I thought maybe here I could do this." And I'm like, "Okay." Come on, Charles, a golden legend, fabulous human being.
Yeah.
So I was just like, "You absolutely," because what he was doing was amazing.
Yeah.
So they didn't need me.
Yeah.
But it was fun to be there.
It was fun.
Yeah. So what's next?
I don't. Whenever TuaCon happens.
Oh yeah, July.
July.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I think I did Jersey Boys here in Vegas for a while, and then I did on tour for a couple of years.
So good.
Oh,
So good.
Thanks.
And you went on tour? Yeah.
Really fun. But I think I'm done with that. And
yeah.
So.
Did you enjoy tour?
Parts of it.
Yeah.
I had toured also with a production of Grease, and I toured with Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat,
Great
and The Superstar with Ted Neely
Great.
and Carl Anderson.
Oh yeah.
Which was a blast. And I had long hair back then, but it was touring is fun, but it's hard.
Yeah.
And especially as you get a little older, it gets harder.
I don't know what
It
you're
doesn't
talking
get
about.
easier. No,
But
I don't.
I will.
Forever young.
We had a lot of rain here in Las Vegas, so there's an extraordinary amount of bugs that we're not
Bugs.
used to.
No,
Yeah.
why no? We've getting
Yeah, so they're all over the place.
Ever.
Well, Todd,
Cheers.
I will definitely go see you in TuaCon. If you haven't been to TuaCon, it's this
Beautiful.
gorgeous outdoor theater in Utah, just 2 hours?
2 hours north.
2 hours north of Las Vegas, and it's carved into the mountains, and there's a stage, and it's stunning.
Red rock everywhere. It's beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
It is.
It's St. George?
St. George.
St. George. So St. George, Utah. How do we get a hold of you socially?
Todd Dubail on Instagram, Facebook. I got a Twitter account, but I don't use it.
Yeah, so there.
Don't find me
Todd Dubail.
Dubail.
B-A-I-L,
out
B-A-L-L.
of jail.
I make this mistake all the time, and it's embarrassing, actually. It's very embarrassing. Anyway, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Love you.
Cheers. Love you. Thank you, everyone, for visiting. Mwah. And we will see you soon.